Welcome to Taiwan News. I'm Việt Cường. Today's headlines. Vietnam hosts 5th International Press Conference on Developments in Eastern Sea. Leaders of Taiwan Provincial People's Committee welcomes World Bank's Country Director for Vietnam. First Viet Bắc Music Festival 2014 succeed. The information related to China's illegal placement of the oil rig Shuyo 981 in the exclusive economic zone and continental shelf of Vietnam will commence our news today. Reacting to the situation or developments issued by China in a press conference held last June 13th, where China's foreign ministry outlined the unfounded arguments on the current situation on the Eastern Sea, on June 16th, Vietnam's Ministry of Foreign Affairs organized its own international press conference on the Eastern Sea situation or development, denying China's wrongful allegations and providing factual information on the current situation. At the press conference, Mr. Lê Hải Bình, spokesman of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, confirmed that China has kept slandering Vietnam since its illegal placement of the oil rig Shuyo 981 within the territorial waters owned by Vietnam. Replying to the unreasonable allegations, Mr. Trần Duy Hải, Vice Chairman of the National Border Committee, stated that Vietnam has shown efforts and goodwill to resolve the current tensions in the Eastern Sea by amenable negotiation and peaceful means, but there has been no constructive reaction, as China has kept making baseless accusations, distorting facts, and falsely accusing Vietnam of ramming Chinese vessels countless times. China absolutely has no real evidence on what they claim. On the other hand, Vietnam has been releasing many evidences with videos, images of aggressive actions by China, such as violent collision, shooting water cannons to damage Vietnam ships, fishing vessels, and left dozens of people wounded. Presenting information to refute China's unfounded allegations, Mr. Nguyên Quốc Thập, Deputy General Director of Vietnam Oil and Gas Group, said, China has relied on the asserted 9 dotted lines, which is not recognized by the whole world, to say that the 57 slots of Vietnam are situated in the disputed waters. This absolutely has no basis and value. China is deliberately turning the non-disputed waters into the disputed ones with their irrational demand. In fact, this area lies entirely within Vietnam's continental shelf and in the exclusive economic zone of 200 nautical miles. Making the announcement on the current factual situation, Mr. Ngô Ngọc Thu, Deputy Commander of Chief of Staff Vietnam Coast Guard, said, up to now, Vietnam has not used fragments of the field, some fishing nets and floating objects such as drums, pieces of wood collected in the Eastern Sea and considered by China as physical evidence of the collision caused by Vietnam are exactly the consequence of China's used water cannons, drastic clearance which made Vietnam fishing vessels leave the fishing nets to avoid chasing Chinese ships. Vietnam's vessels have not shot water cannons and crushed China's fishing vessels, as they have claimed, but simply asked China to withdraw the rig and vessels out of Vietnam's territory. Also at the press conference, when asked to comment on Chinese State Councilor Yang Jiechi's planned visit to Hanoi to attend the annual dialogue on bilateral cooperation, Mr. Lê Hải Bình announced that China's illegal positioning of the oil rig Shuyo 981 in the exclusive economic zone and continental shelf of Vietnam would certainly be an earnest topic for discussion. Vietnam has always been very persistent and found every possible means to have peaceful talk with China to resolve the issue in the Eastern Sea. This planned meeting will certainly be the means for the parties to discuss the issue and find the solutions to it. Recently, Ms. Victoria Qua Qua, the World Bank's country director for Vietnam, visited and worked with the leaders of Thái province. Mr. Dương Ngọc Long, chairman of Thái Provincial People's Committee, led the welcoming meeting. The chairman of the Provincial People's Committee introduced the overview of the province's socio-economic situations. Up to now, Taiwan has received 8 World Bank-sponsored projects with a committed capital of 536.507 billion Vietnam dong. The World Bank capital sources made a great contribution to mobilizing invested capital and creating opportunities for economic growth in the areas such as transportation, health, electricity, and water supply. The World Bank's projects well contributed to eradicating hunger, reducing poverty, advancing important infrastructure, improving living standards of people and ethnic groups in the province, and creating preconditions to attract investment and sustainable development in the next period. She also proposed the World Bank to consider and facilitate the province to approach, attract, and participate in the programs using the World Bank's capital for some areas, such as the investment in upgrading the urban infrastructure of Songkong Town and the construction project of 2 bridges over the Ko River. Speaking at the meeting, the World Bank's country director for Vietnam highly appreciated Thái Nguyên province's cooperation and efforts on the project's implementation and commended the province to further carry out the current projects effectively. The World Bank will provide additional sources of capital for Thái Nguyên, especially funds for the continuation of hunger elimination and poverty reduction. On June 16, the Vietnam National Agricultural Encouragement Center, in collaboration with Syngenta, a world-leading agricultural company from Switzerland, organized a training course where trainees were educated on how to transfer agricultural technical advances among farmers. The course attracted a large number of trainees from 15 provinces in the north of Vietnam.
During the training course, the trainees shared and discussed agricultural breakthroughs that Vietnam achieved in recent years, as well as the real situations of transferring technical advances among farmers in each province. In addition, agricultural experts guided the trainees on how to organize a training course, how to create a comfortable atmosphere which connects the trainers and the trainees, the skills of group working, etc. The course is hoped to help the trainees, who are all officials of agricultural encouragement centers of 15 provinces in the north, to have a deep understanding of the processes of effectively organizing a seminar to transfer technical advances, to speed up the process of global integration and development of the national agriculture. The course lasts from the 16th to the 18th of June.
On the eve of June 15, the final round and closing ceremony of the first song, dance and music festival of Viet Bắc people in 2014, themed Song from the Countryside, was held at S1 Studio, Thái Nguyên radio and television station. Viet Bắc Music Festival is one of the activities of regional radio television circle held by Thái Nguyên radio and television station to celebrate the 18th anniversary of Vietnam Revolutionary Journalism Day, June 21st. The festival was participated in by 10 regional radio television stations, including stations from Cao Bằng, Bắc Cạn, Lạng Sơn, Hà Giang, Bắc Giang, Quảng Ninh, Hòa Bình, Bắc Ninh, Vĩnh Phúc, and Thái Nguyên, and nearly 100 actors who are at the same time reporters, editors, broadcasters of radio television stations. The 27 music performances at the festival are imbued with patriotism and unique identities of each region. According to the assessment of the examining jury and organizing committee, all the items are excellent, carefully invested, and well prepared with high technical quality, elaborately staged and professional in performance. At the closing ceremony of the festival, the organizing committee granted certificates to the station participants. They awarded 1 first prize for Lạng Sơn radio television station, 2 second prize for Hà Giang radio television station, and Thái Nguyên radio television station, and 8 consolidation prizes. After the success of the first festival, the organizing committee decided to hold this festival every 2 years, making it a regular festivity for radio and TV stations locally. On June 16th, Thái Nguyên Provincial Public Relations Committee organized a ceremony to commend sales secretaries and heads of hamlets who are outstanding ethnic minority people on the movement of building cultural life in the residential communities.
15 years after launching the movement of building cultural life in residential communities, many localities and units in Thái Nguyên province have their own methods to carry out the movement effectively. It recognized some remarkable models which contributed much in eliminating hunger and reducing poverty, building infrastructure, building new rural areas, building cultural life in residential communities, and ensuring political security and social order and safety. These achievements are due to the exemplarity of cell secretaries and heads of hamlets. They coordinated with the Communist Party Committee at all levels to direct and propagandize residents to implement the movement seriously. During the ceremony, Mr. Nguyen Van Kim, Permanent Vice Secretary of Provincial Party Committee, praised the proudest achievements of 50 outstanding ethnic delegates, who represented thousands of typical ethnic minority people in the province. These 50 outstanding ethnic delegates were also awarded by Thái Nguyên Provincial Public Relations Committee.
And that's all we have for today. Thanks for joining us. Goodbye.